I broke it. Hey everyone, welcome back to my beauty space. If you are new here, hello, my name is Natashia. And of course, today's video, I did want to kind of switch it up for you guys. I stopped at the dollar store and picked up some makeup. Now let me tell you, the Dollar Tree, I did find some Wet n Wild makeup, CoverGirl, Maybelline in there, but I didn't want to touch any of that makeup because I typically buy that in the drugstore. So a lot of the products that I did pick up today are from LA Colors as well as ColorMate. And I'm like, let me see what look I can create because I like fun videos like this. Let's try not to be too hard on these products. Like I said, although they're coming from the Dollar Tree, we be balling on a budget sometimes. Let's go ahead and get this party started. If you guys want to see how I created this look, please keep watching. To get started, the first product I'm gonna take is my Glow-sion. This is my moisturizer. I've been loving it. It is from Bliss. And I just open up the product. That's what it looks like. Grab a little bit out of here. And I love not having my brows done because I can apply so much product everywhere. Unfortunately, all the Dollar Trees that I went to, I could not find a primer for my skin, and I didn't want to use the CoverGirl or Maybelline products that I saw in there. And they also did have Wet n Wild, so I'm just going to use my Photofocus Wet n Wild face primer to prime my face today. You already know I'm going to start out with my brows. I'm going to take my LA Colors. This is the Browie brow pencil. This is what it looks like. This is in the shade light medium. This was the darkest shade that I could find. Already by the looks of it, I can tell that it is a little bit too light for my brows. And let's outline the other brow. And then I'm gonna grab my LA Girl brow kit. This is what it looks like. And this is in the shade medium. But first, I'm gonna dip my brush into the first two. I haven't used powder in such a long time. I usually use a pomade. I think powder sometimes gives you a really nice natural brow. As I'm dipping my brush into the brow kit, you can kind of see that there is a little bit of fallout. And then I'm gonna go back in with the darker shade right here. And I'm gonna use this shade for the ends of my brow. See how that looks? It gives it kind of like the gradient effect. We're gonna go back into the two brown shades before I move into the darker shade. Unfortunately, none of the dollar stores had a concealer that would work with my skin tone. They were either just too light or too light. So I did pick up the LA Colors liquid makeup. I honestly think that this is just a foundation. This foundation doesn't have much coverage. I put one pump on the back of my hand and I pretty much use majority of it. So like I said, it is very light coverage. Brows look good. They're a little bit dark, but we can work with it. Let's go ahead and move on to the eye portion of the look. As I mentioned, I do not have a primer for my eyelids as well. So I'm gonna place just a little bit of this foundation on the back of my hands. And I hope this doesn't mess up my eyeshadow. It's the LA Girls Frisky eyeshadow palette. Let me go ahead and show this to you. This is what it looks like. You get some beautiful colors in here. So I'll just open up the palette so you guys can see it. And this palette does come with a mirror, which is pretty cool. It's rare that although the mirror is super small, this still works. Like, I'm actually gonna use this mirror to do this look. The first color I'm gonna pick up is right here. That is gonna be my transition shade. That's what the color looks like. And this palette does have a little bit of fallout. It seems like the eyeshadow is a little chalky. Once again, I'm gonna go back into this shade. And this color seems like a nude orange shade, but it's coming out kind of chalky white on my skin tone. The next shade that I'm gonna pick up to darken up my crease will be the shade that is right here. And this is a Essence blender brush that I'm using. I've been obsessed with it. I have not been able to put this brush down. That eyeshadow doesn't feel as chalky, as drying as the first shade. Once again, I'm gonna go back into the shade, and you can see that there's not a ton of fallout, but look at this shade. Yeah, this shade is pretty pigmented, and it's coming out the same color as it is in the pan. It's not that chalky white shade that I mentioned before. So I'm happy. The next shadow I'm gonna pick up is this one right here. I'm gonna use this as a brow highlight. I am kind of upset that I don't have a primer for my eyes because maybe I'm not doing this palette justice, but I went to enough stores to find this stuff. The next shade that I do want to pick up, and I'm just gravitating towards, is this shade. It's so beautiful. Let me see if my finger does it a little bit more justice. That's what it looks like. That's really pretty. I'm gonna go back in with this shade once again. The next shade I'm gonna take is this beautiful glitter shade right here as well. Taking that same shade, doing the same to the other side. The tear duct shade that I want to use would have to go back to my brow highlight, which is right here. Like I said, this doesn't look bad. There's not a ton of fallout on my face, which is pretty good because I am actually picking up a ton of product, especially when I use my finger. So I'm gonna take my Graphics eyeliner. I am gonna do a cat eye, and this is a felt tip. Yeah, once this eyeliner's on, it's on. So be careful when you're using this. The product dries super fast. Even when I was bringing my wing liner back and kind of just filling it in, I can tell that it pretty much has dried. And I haven't used a pencil in such a long time. I usually use liquid, meaning the gel. The mascara that I do have from LA Colors is the Bold Lash Mascara. I thought it was so cute. It's super little. A lot of product did come out, and this is what the brush looks like. Oh, and yes, my lashes, oh, goodness gracious. My lashes did dry due to that eyeliner. I did not find any lashes from Broadway, LA Colors, or even the Color Mates, so I am gonna use some lashes that I do have right now to kind of just bring the look together. And these are the lashes that I had in my previous video. I will go ahead and link them down below. I'm just gonna use my Kiss lash glue, and this glue does start out white, but it dries clear. Moving on to the second lash, I just like to bend my lashes. The lashes have definitely landed. We're going to go back in with our little mascara because we want our falsies to blend in with our real lashes. Now that the eye look is complete for now, we're gonna take our Truly Matte Long Wearing High Pigment Foundation. And of course, as I mentioned, I did kind of have a hard time looking for my foundation shade. They probably had one other shade that was a little bit darker than myself. I have been sitting out in the sun a lot. So let's just see. I think this might be just a tad bit too light. I'm gonna place this on the back of my hand. And also, I did pick up a sponge. I'm not exactly sure of the name. I will try to link it down below. I think they were trying to make this as a dupe for the Sonia Kashuk. They have like a sponge like this, but it's black and white. So I'm gonna take the foundation, kind of pounce it on my face. It's a tad bit, I don't know. It's a little hard, I'll just say that. I like my beauty sponges to be like bouncy, and I don't really feel that with this sponge. I'm gonna grab my e.l.f. This sponge, I love it so much. It's very bouncy. I'm gonna pick up some more of this foundation. For a mattifying foundation, it doesn't dry too fast. But this is probably one shade too light for me. And I like how my beauty sponge applies this foundation. So let's make sure we get those baby hairs. I do need to bring this foundation down to my neck, especially since it's a little bit lighter than my natural skin tone. I guess I didn't realize how much we use concealer for, so I'm gonna go back in with my liquid makeup. We're gonna place this under my eyes, acting as if it was a concealer. It didn't do much for my eyebrows, which was super funny. And we can see how this blends out. I can already tell you, I'm not like a huge fan of this. The contour palette from LA Colors. It's super cute, I like it. So these are the colors. You do get 8 shades. The shade I'm gonna use to contour with will be this shade right here. Oh, that's cute. Going back into this shade. Yeah, it's pigmented. The shade that I'm gonna use as a blush would be this shade that is right here. And if I hold the palette this way, this shade right here. I'm just taking a stippling brush. Ooh, I'd like that. I always like to set my contour, and the translucent powder that I did pick up is in the shade medium. This is what it looks like. And I'll go ahead and turn it around for the back. I think it does kind of have like one of those little poofs in here, and it does, but I'm not gonna use that. I'm just gonna pour some into the cap. I'm taking a Real Techniques beauty sponge. I use this to contour. As I mentioned in previous videos, once you use this sponge with powder, just always use it with powder. And I'm gonna take some of that powder to do my forehead, because my forehead is kind of glowing right now. I do tend to move pretty quick when I have a medium colored translucent powder, so I'm gonna go ahead and dust it away now. Looking good so far. Let's place a little bit of this powder right under my eyes. I'm gonna go back in with the Frisky palette, and we're gonna pick up the shade right here, kind of what I added to my transition shade, bringing this down to the waterline. And then going back into the shade that we used our finger. And then I'm gonna take my setting powder brush, and I'm just gonna wipe all the setting powder away. Let me apply my mascara in my lower lash line. I do have the strobing illuminating powder. This is what it looks like. I am gonna spray my brush with setting spray, and this is the Glow brush. Very creamy. I definitely like it. Oh, whoa. That's very pink. And this stuff kind of just glides on with my finger. It's very beautiful. Super pigmented. I don't think I was expecting that. Oh yeah, when I say my highlight is popping, sis. So moving on to our lips, I do have the lip contour. These are the dual tones, and one side is darker than the other. Let me go ahead and try to show you guys that. And one side is thicker than the other as far as being a lip liner. So let me go ahead and show you the more pinkish nude side. That's what the lip liner looks like. And then moving on to the actual smaller lip liner. And both of these are in the shade Naked. And actually, I broke it. Let's go ahead and use the other side. Now I have the matte liquid lipstick, Sultry is the shade. Let me show this to you guys. And it's letting you know that it's matte. Ooh, it smells good. It smells like cocoa. Ooh. Oh, that's a pretty nude. Now the brush applicator is a little weird. It's not that soft, and I don't know if you can hear me applying the lipstick. Like, listen. You hear that? It's sounds hollow. If you wanted to do like an everyday makeup look where you kind of have your eyes a little bit bold and then you wanna have a nude lip, this would be perfect. So my lips still feel pretty good. Like I said, you might wanna get a chapstick or a Carmex to put on your lips because sometimes liquid lipsticks can be very drying, but I'm gonna take it to the extreme today because my eyes are so bold and I really like going with these crazier looks. I'm gonna grab my Metal to the Max. This is of course from LA Colors. Not bad, but I feel like when it first comes out the tube, it looks super pigmented, and then I applied it to my lips and it kind of lost its color. So let me go ahead and dip this in one more time. So with this lip gloss, you did need 2 coats, and I'm okay with that, but this looks cute. Since the look is complete, I'm gonna take my setting spray. This helps extend your makeup wear. This is what it looks like. Shake it up, shake it up, shake it up, shake it. Now let's go ahead and talk. So let's start out with brows first. So I did pick up the brow kit, and I'm just gonna say, I like it, but I don't love it. I have not used powder in such a long time. If you're looking for more of a natural brow, I highly recommend using some type of powder. But for me, once I came up on any type of pomade, I'm like obsessed. The other product, which is the brow pencil, I love how this reminds me of the Anastasia brow pencil. So I would definitely pick this up again, but of course in my shade. My brows are a little dark than what I'm used to, but at least I have dark hair right now, so this kind of all blends together. Let's talk about the Frisky palette, and I must say I'm kind of like obsessed with it. I think I need to create a couple more looks with it, but one thing about me, any palette that takes the time to add a mirror, I am like, okay, like you definitely helping me out, especially when you're filming makeup tutorials and you don't want a big mirror in front of you. Remember I told you guys that this palette does have a little bit of fallout, but most palettes do. The first shade that I used did come out a little bit chalky, but every other eyeshadow color that I picked up was not like that. The eyeshadows are super pigmented and I love that. And I think this palette was only like $4 or $5, so this is a steal. You can't miss out on this. The next product that I love is the contour palette. I am just obsessed. The colors were super pigmented, and also they do have a highlight shade in here as well. Please don't tell me I'm gonna love this more than my Profusion palette, but hey, this came out super beautiful. It was easy to blend. I will definitely pick up this palette again. Let's go ahead and just apply that to this highlight. Oh, that's cute. It kind of toned down the pink. Oh, that's not bad. See, this is all I needed. Oh crap, I just put the contour. Hold please. Let's talk about the foundations. Now, I was able to work with this foundation. This is the mattifying foundation, and they did not have a ton of shades in my store, so I just grabbed what I thought would work best for me. And this was okay. It's buildable coverage. The only problem that I'm having now is after looking in a mirror, and I've only had my makeup on for maybe an hour, is I'm starting to see my smile lines. The makeup is starting to crease there. So that kind of makes me a little nervous. And then also too, the liquid makeup, there was no color to this. If you're looking for a BB cream, go ahead and pick this up. But other than that, I probably would never repurchase this again. This highlight was everything to me. This basically brought the whole look together. If I could go back and buy all of the highlights, I want to say there's 2 other ones that I did not pick up. I would definitely recommend picking up this highlight. I mean, I did kind of tone it down just a little bit, but this highlight is beautiful. Like, it gave me so much life when I was applying it, and it's super creamy, and I do love that. So if you're trying to glow this summer, sis, this is for you. This mascara is super cute. I love it. And the brush is a lot larger, so if you have smaller lashes, I would say maybe a couple coats of this, and this will plump up your lashes really nice. When I applied this eyeliner to both my eyes and tried to add my mascara, oh my goodness, my lashes had already dried. So that's how quick this stuff is drying on your eyes. So I would highly recommend doing one eye at a time, but I love this mascara. And like I said, I'm a sucker for smaller packaging. I just think it's so cute. Look at you. I don't know how I feel about this setting spray yet because I'm not exactly sure what it has done. It just says help extend makeup wear. It doesn't tell you if your face is going to be dewy, if it's going to be matte. It just tells you it's going to extend your makeup life. But I am seeing my smile line, so I'm like a little nervous. Also, this setting spray does not have a good smell. And when you're topping off your face, you're just like, sis, I want that coconut. I want that fruity smell. And it just didn't give it to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and set you back down. Of course, I wanna thank you guys for taking time out of your day to watch my tutorials. I definitely appreciate you guys' support. I hope this video was helpful for you guys. I love doing these type of challenges because I never know if I'm going to be able to create a look, and I'm just so excited when I can. And of course, you're going to have some hits, you're going to have some misses, but I'm going to tell you the real about all of them. Until my next video, please do not forget to thumbs up, share, and subscribe. As always, I miss you, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.